Okay, another survival video here. This one's about flint and steel. Uh, Flint, of course, is a natural stone. You can find it in most places, or quartz will work. Up here where we're at, you have to go real south or way far west to get flint, but you can find a piece here and there. Texas, Pennsylvania, all through those southern areas or eastern areas, you can find flint pretty well. That's wherever there was Indian habitat, there's probably flint. So anyhow, and what I'm using for my steel is just a piece of wool file. It's a hardened steel, high carbon. You just take an old file you can get for $1 somewhere, you know, like the rehab places, whatever, and break them in 3 pieces, about 3 inches long a piece, and that's your striker. So, and just grind your one edge down, and you got yourself a striker. Or else you can forge one out of high carbon steel if you want. So anyhow, this is what we're going to be doing today. This is a piece of chaga, and it comes on a birch tree. It kind of looks like it's been burnt, you know, but it hangs off the side of the tree like so, and then when you break it off, of course, that's the good stuff inside. You scrape off all this rough stuff, and you come into the soft, corky stuff inside, and that's what you use for lighting your tinder in the fire piston. Whenever I say chaga, what I do is I break it down into chunks like so, or you can grind it up just the way it is and you make coffee or tea out of it. It has a very good flavor to it. But anyhow, that's what chaga looks like, and they can come in huge masses. I've found several. This one here is my very first piece I ever found here in Canada, so I save it. This is a memento. I keep it in a box. I have tons and tons of chaga here that I just processed. So anyhow, what I want to show today is different tinders on lighting. Number one is chaga itself. You can strike a spark on there. You got to fluff it up some, whatever, but you can strike a spark on chaga and get it to light. Once you get it to light, it's hard to put this stuff out. And I don't like to waste a great big piece on that, so what I've learned is if I take my chaga and on a grater, and you can either take a piece of tin and you can punch holes in with a nail, or you can get yourself a Parmesan grater just like this, and what you want to do is you want to grate it down and just keep grating. So anyhow, that just shows you how we're going to grate it. I've already got some in here that I've done already. But once you get yourself a little pile, put it in a tin, or you can put it on a piece of bark, anything like that. And it takes a little bit for this to work, but you can make it work. You want to strike down on this. You want to hold your flint in your good hand and your steel in your other hand, and you want to strike down, causing sparks in there. See, we have one little spark right there that's glowing right now, if you can see it back in here. Now that spark will build, so we want to get a bunch more going here. There's another spark. So anyhow, what you do is you just casually see the smoke coming out of there. So we got a spark going. Now, just like you would do with a bow drill, it's a fine powder, so let it build up. Let it build and let it build until you get yourself a nice coal. And then you can take that coal and you can dump it into a bird's nest, jute, natural bird's nest, just like I've showed in other videos, and blow it into flame. But this is the easiest method I found to do chaga. Yes, it takes a little bit more finessing, a little more time, but it is very feasible. As you can see, it didn't take me long at all, and we're getting ourselves a pretty good coal here. What you can also do is, you can take, now it's going to keep on burning, you can actually take that coal and keep dispersing it, and see, what we're doing is we're just making more and more and more and more until you get a nice sized big coal. I'm not going to blow this into the flame. I just wanted to show you that chaga can be done, and just by grating it up like that right there. And as you see, we're getting ourselves a nice ember there. Okay, and I just taking, what I do is my pocket knife. I don't have my pocket knife, it's laying here somewhere, so I'll take a regular knife, kitchen knife here. But I take and I pick my pick my coal up like so, and I'll just dump it in there. Or I'll let this go for a little bit and just dump it all into, if it's on my bark, I just dump it into my bird's nest. Or I'll dump this in my bird nest and then blow it into flame. But as you can see, we're getting some burning going here. Very simple. Okay, so that's chaga. We'll do char cloth next, and then we'll do punk wood too.